Hello, my audience. You want to hear another story? Well, I was just out watching a western last night, and I thought I'd share with you one of the greatest stories of the Old West. And this is called Pecos Bill and the Pharaoh's Curse. Well, Pecos Bill had just become the Marshal of Carson City, Nevada. He felt it would be great to add to his career as a lawman. Bill had a lot of days arresting drunks and clearing up saloons, and then one day he got something really frightening told to him. Apparently, there was a frame house outside of town that had really bad problems. The house was said to be the most haunted house in town with 200 ghosts, demons, and monsters. The ghosts there were making so much noise that it kept the whole town up at night. Folks living near the house were leaving the town in droves. The owners had been driven out from their home by these demons 5 years ago, and no one could sleep. Bill offered to clean up the house. If you could clear up the house, I could give you the biggest mine in the Comstock Lode, the homeowner said. He set out for the house to clear it up. And when he got there, he could hear the moaning and groaning coming from the house. Bill waited until nightfall to go in. He wanted to make sure all the ghosts were present and he was going to clear the place. And Bill loaded with his pistol. His pistol was silver bullets blessed with holy water and salt from Israel. The moon was over the horizon. And Bill could see all the frightening creatures. He saw a banshee on the roof screaming loudly. Bill then saw a mummy with a group of skeletons in armor. Bill knew it was time for him to strike. And a loud shriek filled the air. The banshee flew down at Bill to grab him. He ducked as she flew and past him, all the way back to Ireland. As Bill entered the house, he saw a sarcophagus. Sarcophagus opened and a mummy emerged. "How dare they disturb my rest? I shall have my revenge," the mummy said. Now Bill knew the cause of all these entities. The owners had dug up a pharaoh's corpse in Egypt and brought it back to America with them. The family was of Irish heritage, so that's why the banshee was there. The pharaoh tried to attack Bill, but he unwrapped that mummy, and the pharaoh was so embarrassed that he went back into his coffin. Bill knew about the pharaoh's curse because he was also an archaeologist who had many adventures in Egypt. He heard the howling group of werewolves came down. He loaded his rifle with silver bullets and shot all these werewolves dead. More banshees followed the werewolves. Bill just simply led them to the living room for a conversation, told them how to get back to Ireland with the first. The banshees will return to the Emerald Isle when they still live on Carrauntoohil, the tallest mountain there. Suddenly there was a frightening howl behind them. A massive black hellhound with piercing red eyes emerged to attack Bill. Bill still managed to get the dog to play fetch, and the hellhound was wagging its tail. He didn't attack him because he wasn't a Baskerville, like the ones in the novel by Conan Doyle. Bill fought off the ghosts of Pharaoh's bodyguard. He just lassoed all of them and dragged them back to the cemetery, reburying the ghosts. Later, an army of Egyptian skeleton soldiers were in the kitchen marching. Bill just marched with them until they fell to pieces. Suddenly, zombie archers came out of the ground and began to attack Carson City. The United States cavalry was called in to battle the undead as the town was evacuated. People were running in panic as the zombies fled on their way to the town, biting victims and infecting them with the vector. A quarantine zone was set up to prevent the infected from leaving. Bill shot all the zombies dead with his gun and reburied them. And this is how the apocalypse was stopped in Nevada. A vampire like yours truly approached Bill. "I want your blood," the vampire said. Bill handed the vampire a glass of red whiskey. The vampire was enraged that he had been tricked and ran away. Soon the most frightening creature emerged. It was Amit, the devourer of the dead. This monster had the head of a crocodile, body of a lion, the hind legs of a hippopotamus. Bill wrestled Amit until the monster agreed to return to the underworld and resume its duty as a gatekeeper of the dead. As soon as the Pharaoh's undead army saw what happened, they fled in horror. They returned to the underworld, in the land of Osiris. Bill scanned the house, chased 2 ghost soldiers out the chimney. The house was clean, and a priest came to bless it. The owner was so happy he gave Bill his share of the largest silver mine in the Comstock Lode, and the city celebrated. The Pharaoh and his army never came back to our world. Guess they were scared of what would Bill do to them when they came back. I once dated a banshee. She left me for the Doulahan.